Now, welcome, seniors. As you can see behind me, I'm getting a wall put in, and so don't mind the construction. Anywho, um, I've shared with you my screen so that you can see where we're going today. This particular website is from the National Park Service, and what's so nice about it is the fact that the National Park Service has very good pictures and ways in which you can see what's going on the website. I don't know if it will play, but we'll give it a whirl. Um, there are things that you, of course, can navigate through um, these particular these particular it's like a site fly through, for example. So I'll go ahead and we'll try that and we'll see what it does. It basically takes you to a YouTube, and they do a fly through, and this shows you what it looks like from the aerial version of the um, of an aerial view of what the actual site looks like. Now, when you leave on a ferry from the mainland in New York City, you can take a ferry to one of two places. You can buy a ticket and you can take the ferry to Ellis Island, or you can also get a combination Ellis Island Statue of Liberty. Now, the last time that I was there, unfortunately, uh, no Americans could get a ticket to go to up the statue. But the foreigners who were all in line all had tickets. And so the day that we were there, I was very disappointed. We could not go up into the statue. Could we visit the statue? Yes, but you had to stay on the ground. So what you're seeing here is a typical fly through of the overall appearance of the island itself. Now, if I want to change a season, it will let me change a season. This is into the summer, and it will change it back to um, winter. Um, and I'm going to take you now into the main hall. Now, what's so beautiful about the main hall is I have a nice picture of my husband and my son sitting right here on one of these benches. So it'll let us come right in to where people lined up, two officials, and I have a nice picture of my husband and my son sitting here in this room. Now, there are other rooms on this main floor, and they're not showing them here, which is disappointing. This room back here has a lot of displays of people's suitcases, and um, it has like interactive displays for how a family might have entered when they came into the United States. Now, one of the other things that I think is kind of cool, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up the historical images because they're pretty good. This is what it looks like as a ferry would enter into Ellis Island. You can see the gates and the officials and the barriers which kept families separated. What a lot of people don't know is there was a full nursing and doctor staff there at Ellis Island. And if I go back to that briefly, my family came at 1900 and early 1900s. So by this picture here, by 1935, they had much more of a full staff and probably more able to work with the number of immigrants who were coming in from Europe. Now, what's interesting about these types of immigrants is these immigrants were religious, they were skilled, and they had hope and had given up everything in their homelands to come to this country. Many of these families had young sons who turned around, enlisted in the American Army, and were sent right back to Europe to fight in World War I and in World War II. And so, what's interesting to me is that these people knew what hard work was. They were artisans and craftsmen, and they settled in cities and built churches and businesses throughout many of the American cities, especially on the eastern seaboard, New York, and into Pennsylvania and Ohio and other parts of our country, but mainly in the Northeast because they didn't go too far. Now, one of the things that maybe people didn't know is the incidences and needs for curing and helping people with illnesses and the hospital beds and even surgeries. And unfortunately, they had to build enough of it in order to have room for the high number of people that were coming in. But these pictures start to get a little starker because you start to see places. This is the pharmacy, I believe. Yes, the hospital pharmacy. And we'll get to where they stayed. But finally, some of these rooms um, where they were, this is in the Statue of Liberty. This was the hospital library, and people also passed away. And I don't know how I missed the picture of the morgue, but there was one. I lost it. Should have been right there somewhere. Now, how did I lose it? Hmm, thought it was right there. Oh, three kitchen island under construction, including the section, and this was the room and the view of the ward. And we're back to the beginning. So they had a picture of, oh, I know, because it's right here. I got to get you to it. When you take a look at some of these other areas of the Ellis Island, you can see that a lot of it has gone into disrepair and non-use. And because it's in non-use, you can tell that nothing's been taken care of and nothing's been updated. And you can see that there's a lack of technology. This is the open area, yeah, the courtyard area. This part of the site, you can see where a lot of tables, materials, beds, it's all just been thrown. There's a modern tote right there. Um, and you can also tell that they haven't done anything to refurbish it. So we have parts of this site that needs a lot of work. Um, these are heating furnaces, I believe, the expansion of the hospital facilities and a new powerhouse. So it was for heat. Um, and then on this side, of course, you see a beautiful set of windows. I'm not sure what this room. It says the second floor of Ward E, large open room. And again, another area that was used for, this is an isolation ward if people had needed to be quarantined. And this was a staff location, a living room for the staff. And I don't know how I skipped out on the morgue. That's not it. This might be it. Ooh, that's the mattress sanitizer. That's different, huh? Stick the mattresses in there and heat them up and get them sanitized. I'm not sure how that would have worked, but oh well. I'm gonna, okay, I'll go to, that is the pharmacist's bedroom. Doesn't look that good. That was the boiler room. Ah, this is the morgue or the autopsy theater, and they don't even call it a room. But of course, we don't stop to think about how many people came across the boat, and some people died on the boats, and they had to have a place to put them. And so those people were buried in what they call the pauper cemeteries of New York. So that is to the extent of what I wanted to show you. If you want to go to the website, you can. This is the historical document. I don't know why it didn't. Oh, it's because it went to it just went to another site. So I'm going to go ahead and share. I'll stop presenting that one. Maybe I can get this other one presented for you so you can see where it takes you. This takes you to what they call the heritage documents. And this particular website gives us a sense of all of the documental programs which are available. And even now, of course, they have them updated for COVID-19. And in addition to all that, they have other virtual tours that are available. So I think what I'll do is I'll take you guys to Cape Hatteras probably after the holidays, and we'll look at some other interesting things. I think NASA has a way cool site, and I'd like to visit that one too. So, without further ado, I will stop sharing, and we'll see you guys hopefully in the future if you are able to join us. I know that a lot of you are at tech and a lot of you have jobs, and it makes it tough. So, take care, and hope your Thanksgiving was wonderful. And if you're out hunting, good luck. Take care.